Welcome back to another edition of Talking Title with Bob the Title Guy. I am Bob Gledkowski, the Title Guy. Today we're going to talk about what is a title company, what is its role that we play in a purchase, buy, sell. It's going to be a quick video. Again, as always, if you have any questions or you have additional questions, you can always call or email me anytime. So a quick definition of a title company is a third party or a neutral party that works on behalf of both buyers and sellers to make sure there's clear title and to help facilitate the closing process. So what do I mean by work on behalf of both buyers? I don't work for just the buyers. I don't work for just the sellers. I work for both parties to make sure both parties do what they're supposed to do per the purchase agreement, so we can get you to closing and get your house sold or purchased, right? So what exactly do we do? What's our role? So the primary duty of a title company is to run what we call title searches. We go to the county or send somebody to the county and we search public record. Everything related to your home is recorded with the registers of deeds at your local county building. So what do I mean by everything? When you purchase a home, you're going to receive a warranty deed or another type of deed of ownership. You take out a mortgage with a bank. That mortgage is recorded against the property. If you don't pay a contractor for work they do on your house, they can file what we call a mechanic's lien against your property to make sure they get paid. If you don't pay your state and local or state and federal taxes, the state and the federal IRS can place liens against your properties. If you have any judgments on you from creditors, if you didn't pay credit cards or other bills and they file judgments against you, we look for all of that. So that would all be put on what we call a title commitment. A title commitment, and you'll receive this likely from your realtor or directly from myself, a title commitment has various requirements and exceptions. The requirements are what we need to get done, what we require done in order to issue our final policy. An exception would be things that are accepted out of coverage from our policy. So those two things I will probably get into in another video. It's kind of lengthy and frankly it's kind of boring unless you're really looking for that information. But I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on what we do. Other things we look for, defective deeds. And when I say defective, bad legal descriptions. Say John and Jane Doe purchased a home in 1940. In 1950, only John Doe signed off on the new warranty deed to a new buyer, right? We need to know where Jane Doe is, and so there's no explanation of that. What that is called is a defective deed. We need to find an answer before we can move to closing, okay? We need to find Jane Doe. If she's deceased, death surge, so on and so forth. So again, probably another video, but I wanted to touch base on that one. Another thing could be fraud. Back in the early to mid 2000s and even up to the big crash in 07, we saw a lot of fraud. A lot of people signing names they shouldn't have, portraying themselves as people they weren't. And so there was a lot of issues with title, and so we are very particular about that, making sure we ask for IDs and such to make sure you are who you say you are when you sign our documents. So once we get all these things in our title search, we again put those on a title commitment. So somebody examines those search documents, and then we type up that title commitment, and that again is what you're going to get to know what your title looks like, right? So once we receive all the requirements on our title commitment, and our commitment is clear, we're okay to issue a policy, we're going to move to closing. I'm going to generate some closing documents. Most important one is going to be your closing statement. So you want to review that once you get it from myself or your realtor and make sure all the fees and figures are correct. I'll again probably go over a settlement statement and what should be on that in another video. So you will get your closing statements. You'll get some affidavits from me at the closing table, some other closing documents, just stating that you're not aware of any liens, all your taxes are caught up in current, you don't owe any utilities, things like this, okay? So I'm going to take in, at that point, the money due from the buyer, because again, I work for both sides. I'm going to take the money in from the buyer and act as the middleman, and then I'm going to disperse to the seller and the realtors and the state and county. They get their money for taxes and things like that. So again, working for both buyer and seller, I'm going to disperse all the proceeds, make sure everybody's happy. If it's not on the closing statement, make sure, and it belongs there, make sure it is. This is where you need to be very happy and satisfied and ready to close. Once you sign those statements and we disperse, there is no changing that, okay? So after all that's said and done, I'm going to record the new warranty deed, and if there's a mortgage with the closing, I'm going to record the mortgage with that deed. Once that comes back to me from the county, I'm going to issue our title insurance policy, and that's what we do at the end of the day: clear title, close loans, and issue title policy. So to review, title company is a third party that acts on the behalf of both sides, not one or the other. Please understand, it's both sides. We act for the buyer and we act for the seller to make sure all the terms and conditions of a purchase agreement are met and satisfied. We then disperse funds, record documents, and issue our final title policy. This has been another episode of Talking Title with Bob the Title Guy. Please like and follow below, and feel free to share my videos at any time. Also, if you want to, please comment below with any suggestions on new or future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at closing.